Shut up. It's not about looking hot.
I'm not about looking ugly like.
Alright, so hi guys, how are you today? What's your name?
What?
What's your name?
What's my name?
Yes, give the audience your name.
Let's start this again. Just Jesus Christ! Cut!
Okay, so hello.
Hello.
Hello guys.
My name isn't.
Anyways, this is our review of Jurassic World 2, A Fallen Kingdom. Or The Fallen Kingdom. Whatever you want to say.
Before we start the movie review, be aware that it might have some spoilers. So, if you haven't watched the movie, you may want to watch.
Jurassic World 2015 pretty much was just like a repeat of Jurassic Park in the first place, which was like okay for everyone, and everyone generally liked it, and obviously it killed it at the box office, and the CGI is just pretty decent. And you know, the Indominus Rex, however, whatever. And you know, at the very end, the military ends up getting a few vials of this serum from different coats of the Indominus Rex and the raptors and all of that stuff. So they still have the DNA from all the dinosaurs by the end of the movie. So you know that, you know, this movie, The Fallen Kingdom, is going to have something to do with them being weaponized once again. Anyways, getting to this movie, I love the beginning. The opening sequence reminded me a lot of Jurassic Park. It was just a very Jurassic Park opening. Like, it was predictable, but it was a very, very good opening where they're there to pretty much get the remains of the Indominus Rex so they can have the DNA sample, and then they can create, and you know, more dinosaurs like the Indominus Rex, and maybe make them smaller, who knows, make them weapons pretty much for the military, or sell them off to whatever country wants them for whatever sort of purposes. So anywho, they end up getting those kind of remains, and like a really rainy night, whatever it is, the Logatron, I'm just gonna call it the massive whale crocodile. That thing like comes out of nowhere and pretty much surprises everyone and eats the people. There's a few little not plot twists. There's a few little twists that they give it, but it's like you know, in the end, obviously people are gonna die from this thing. So the giant crocodile whale ends up like eating a lot of them, which kind of sucks. But you know, eventually the helicopter gets away, right? The helicopter gets away, so it gets away with the vial, which is good. And then pretty much the big whale crocodile thing escapes from the containment, so now it's in wildlife, so that's really not good. Obviously setting up for the future film, which I'm totally fine with. It's just like I was a little disappointed in this one. So anyways, what did you think about the beginning?
The intro?
Yeah, the intro, just of that scene, like, and you know.
I don't know. I liked the intro way more than I liked the ending. I thought the intro really kept me awake. No, babe, you're gonna be sucking on this thing. It's gonna be making sound the whole video, bro. Like, not now, bro. Like, that is annoying. I'm trying to talk here, bro. Baby! Now you're gonna be sucking on that thing forever. Why would you do that in the middle of the video? Why? When I'm talking, bro? Like, I thought the beginning really kept me awake. I thought the beginning, like, I wasn't expecting a lot of things, so I really, really thought also the CGI was well done. Later on in the movie, it just got boring for me. That's the reason why I fell asleep. I think the beginning is so much more fun to watch, and the ending it's kind of like slows down and you kind of can predict what's gonna happen. As well, a lot of things, as you said to me and mentioned before, they're just lucky, you know.
Yeah, so well, okay. Like, to carry on from that, so like the intro, obviously at the very beginning, like we were saying, the intro is very Jurassic Parky, and I think it's very enticing and it gets you in the movie. Now after that, now it carries on with this. There's tons of subplots in this film. Like, there's plots going on everywhere, and like you're introduced to pretty much like an old man who was one of the first with Mr. Hammond to start the Jurassic Park idea, like 10 years before they even implemented it. Like, they were working on DNA samples in their basement that was designed of a bunch of dinosaurs. You know, it's like the library. And this old man has the cane, which has like one of the ambers that has a mosquito in it with the, you know, obviously the DNA of a dinosaur, obviously how they extracted it to get the dinosaurs in the first place. Yeah, I never ever saw him before in any of the other films, and he just and never even heard of him. Maybe I'm mistaken there, maybe there is something, but I've definitely not heard of this guy. And like, just sure, whatever, they needed more, they needed to go a different direction, so they're going to introduce this co-owner of Jurassic Park who has a bunch of funding. He has a granddaughter who has that subplot. The granddaughter has like, what, no parents or something, like the little girl that lives with her grandpa. So. Like, that's her grandpa, the co-founder of, or one of the founders, sorry, of Jurassic Park and the idea of the dinosaurs and whatnot. And yeah, he has a granddaughter who has a subplot, which is pretty much like, she loves her grandfather, and then whoever that guy is, now the bad guy in this film, I have gripes with, because he's just generic, he's typical, he's just one of those guys who just wants to get a bunch of money. And that's all that's his whole plan, his whole set of motives is just obtaining money and, you know, being rich and powerful, blah blah blah. So he's trying to take over the company of the old man who worked with him, and I don't know who the guy is. I'll just call him Old Man for the rest of the video. Yeah, eventually he ends up killing him. It's kind of dark. Like, he ends up killing the old man and the criminal, like the bad guy in the film, the antagonist, and he kills him with a pillow, which is kind of bad. But yeah, his whole operation is to pretty much get the rest of the dinosaurs from the island, because the island, obviously, the main plot is that the island is exploding at the very beginning of the movie. It's the main plot that, you know, the island that the previous Jurassic World was on, with all the rest of the animals, they were going to become extinct again, once again. To get back on track, so, like, I didn't really like any of the character growth. I thought the acting was so shit. And I thought the character growth with any of them were bad. I thought the little girl was a decent actor, though. Like, she was a fairly decent actor. I thought everyone else was just not even good. Like, Chris Pratt, he had a really tough time not being Star-Lord. It's not like I just wish he made more jokes, to be honest with you. I wish he was a little bit more lighthearted. He wasn't not lighthearted. He was fine. He was just a poor man's version of himself from a different universe, which is, you know, the MCU, being Star-Lord. And I just feel like Star-Lord's a stronger version of his Owen character in the Jurassic World franchise. And that's, you know, that's the truth of the matter. And maybe that's just my opinion, but it's a good one. So, yeah. But, yeah, from that point I didn't like the subplots. But then the island and getting the animals off it was pretty cool. And I thought the CGI was well done. Like, the volcano was cool, right? Obviously, the redhead woman, whatever her name is, she's obviously Gwen from Spider-Man 3. She wants to obviously save all of them, so they gather up a whole team, including Owen, which is Chris Pratt's character. They go to the island. The island's exploding. They try to and then the military obviously betrays them, because the military betrays them. The military betrays them, and then obviously because the military they just want all the animals so they can sell them off and, you know, use them for weapons and sell them to different governments. And the military ends up successfully catching pretty much all of them. Yeah, and then they end up leaving the island. Eli Mills, I guess, is the bad guy's name. Eli Mills wants to partner up with the guy who partners up with Red Skull in Captain America: First Avenger, the Nazi scientist. He's in this movie being the guy who obviously is the brains behind the organization. The Indoraptor was what is now like the Indominus Rex. So it's pretty much just like I thought, like at the very ending of Jurassic World, I thought they were going to be like, okay, now they put the raptor's DNA in, along with a bunch of other animals, into the T-Rex's formed body, and then they made the Indominus Rex. Now they're going to put all that crap into a raptor's body and see how it fares out. So it's generally what I thought it would be. I mean, now given that the Indoraptor is probably a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, it was still pretty terrifying. And it was obviously fierce and blah blah blah. And they made a prototype. They have this this auction, and they're bidding for all the dinosaurs, all the herbivores, all the carnivores, and then obviously the special one. They end up selling it because, you know, they made what, like 30 million off it, which is not a lot of money. Like they were auctioning off these dinosaurs for like $10 million, and like there are only 11 species left. They're extinct. They're man-made. It's just like, that seems like not a lot of money. Like $10 million, $8 million. Like he ended up making like $150 million that night. Like the Eli Mills character. Man, I thought you could get like $100 million for a T-Rex. You know what I mean? All the heroes, which is, you know, the group of 5 or 4 or whatever. Like Blue's in it, obviously, the raptor from the previous film. Blue's the only raptor left alive, and she still carries that instinct of, you know, like she's still a pet of Owen's, and you can see that in this. And she comes back for the second time. In Jurassic World, she comes back like in this stupid, it's such a, and when I watched that movie, I was like, this is the most predictable thing. She's gonna come out in slow motion. And she comes out in slow motion, runs at the Indominus Rex. Remember that? It was so cheesy. And then in this movie, it's pretty much the same thing. She ends up running out, and then she attacks the Indoraptor, and she actually ends up fucking winning, which makes no sense. She's just, well, given that she's really, really clever, and she's older, and, you know, and the Indoraptor is still is a prototype. She wins the battle, ends up, you know, killing the Indoraptor with like knocking it off the roof. And then it lands on the Triceratops's horns, and then just completely guts the thing. All the bad guys pretty much die, but all of the animals are either going to be left in the containment, or in containment in the house with poisonous gas happening. So Claire Deering, who is the redhead woman, she's like, okay, well, they either have to die in this building or they have to be let loose. If they're let loose, that's dinosaurs in real life, modern day civilization. So it's not going to fare out nice. But, you know, the little girl ends up, like the granddaughter, the English granddaughter, ends up making the decision to let them out. It sets up the next movie fairly nicely. Like, this movie may be the worst Jurassic Park film. But, like, for me, but I still think that it has I think it's still a good setup for the third one being a really strong film, and that's my opinion. Like, personally, okay, so I think the direction was fine. I think it was as original of a story as you could get, because the previous Jurassic World was so similar to the original Jurassic Park. I thought that the acting was pretty much bullshit except for the little girl. She was pretty good, and Chris Pratt, like, step up your game, bro. Like, act how you want to act. Like, act the same. Like, I just don't like his Owen character. I think he's boring. And everyone's like, oh, no, he's good. I don't think he's very good. I think he's a watered-down version of Star-Lord. And that's his other character. I didn't like the CGI at all. I thought there was a lot of moments where I was like, this is the worst green screen I've ever seen in my life. Oh, and they never used the score. The John Williams score, they used twice, but they manipulated it within 30 seconds. And it's like... and it starts to fade. Okay, the ending of that was pretty bad, but I mean, like, it was like...
Okay, let's give our ratings. What'd you rate it? Out of 10. Baby!
This movie is a decent setup, poor acting. I would recommend to still go see it. Obviously, I don't think it's going to break any budgets, like box office records. I don't think everyone intended on this film being a lot of
For me, it's a 6 out of
fun.
10. A
6 out of 10. Mine would be a 6, 6.5 tops. Like, this film, the only reason why I would give it like a higher mark, like a 7 maybe, because, you know, going with decimals kind of sucks. I like the all of the dinosaurs we got. We got a lot of action. I thought we got a lot of action, and the fact that the Indoraptor was bulletproof, that was pretty cool. And you know. Props for giving it a little bit of a few twists to make it a little bit different, even though I think it's boring. Or, not boring, I think it's just not the greatest film. Yeah, but 6. You a 6?
Anyways, thank you guys for watching.
Remember to subscribe, guys. Let's All Be Llamas Video Productions. We're going to be doing tons of reviews. The quality of this setup is going to get a lot better. I'm going to get labs. I'm going to get a green screen setup and some nice lighting. But you know what? You're here because our faces are beautiful and you like our personalities. Have a good one, guys.